350 million people in Africa lack access to clean and safe drinking water. Water is life. So today we're here because there's an organization called Face Africa. Today we're here to raise funds for this. We want to build 10 wells. 10 wells. Can we do that? Is that doable?
People tend to take access to clean water for granted in many parts of the world. And Face Africa has focused on water, focused on bringing clean water.
About a month ago, my mother told me a horrible story about a little boy passing away from malaria. Something as simple as access to clean water would have given him a better chance at life. And so that's why causes like this mean so much to me, and I'm happy to be a part of the committee.
I've grown up in a country where I didn't have water, turning the tap on some days. We had to have a bucket. And I think being in America for so long, people take for granted turning on a faucet or washing your car outside and wasting gallons and gallons of water.
We're all the same. Saran's grown up where those kids are coming from. We've grown up where those kids are coming from.
Saran is a young woman doing great things, and I feel like it's important for all of us to come, especially myself, be here and to really appreciate the work that she's doing.
I'm really inspired, to see African diaspora contributing very positively to their homeland.
It inspires me to see so many people demonstrating a great degree of generosity and commitment and compassion and feeling for the people of Liberia through the work of Face Africa.
Most times people come into the diaspora, they're comfortable and they never look back, but her ability to look back and do it in a way that is making impact on people's lives is something that could not keep me home on a Saturday evening.
When you have a friend like Saran, who has friends like this, who understands exactly the heart and soul of what's going on, it doesn't really take that much effort from us to go out and support her. So we're pretty much just supporting your friend.
So the fact that I know that any effort I put in, whether it's marketing or raising tickets or raising funds or spreading the word or directing someone towards her, her efforts are directly being affected. It's affecting the people directly. And she's actually going to Liberia for months at a time. She's digging wells. She's in it.
Once you solve the clean water problem, you can begin to solve some of the problems like education and healthcare.
This is not just, rhetoric, and we're not just, raising money for, some, abstract cause, These are actual people. I've been there, I've seen kids.
I think it's wonderful to see the impact that clean water actually has.
Because I'm in the water business, I can really appreciate how difficult it is to get off the ground and be successful in bringing clean water to people around the world.
That's why, continue to support Face Africa, and I hope it grows more. Yeah.
It's amazing, and I think it's for a great cause, and it's great to be serving the global community by being here, and it's just absolutely fantastic.
I feel like it's a call to action. We have to take action.
Whatever we can do to support each other in this effort to provide basic services, before going on to advanced things, you need to talk about the very basics, access to clean water, those sorts of things are very integral.
Water is important. So I'm glad that I can be a part of it and lend whatever efforts I could to the organization.
And I think it's going to get bigger and bigger. This is just the beginning.
The fight doesn't stop. This is just, 12,000 people out of 350 million.
We're a very young organization, we're very grassroots, and while these numbers are great because it means that thousands of people have access to safe drinking water, but there are hundreds of thousands more to go, and that's why we're here tonight.
It was a fantastic event.
Refreshing.
Brilliant.
Inspirational.
Groundbreaking.
It's amazing. Inspiring.
Breathtaking.
Wonderful.
Unity.
Oh, it was fantastic. It was a good cause. It was nice to have people come together.
Awesome. It was an awesome event.
Phenomenal.
Fun.
Wonderful.
Outstanding.
Wondrous.
Magnificent.
Amazing.
Amazing. Great.
Hello, everyone. My name is Isha Sesay, and let me start by welcoming you to the first ever virtual WASH Gala. This event has been held every year in New York since 2010, but as we all know, these are different times. Alongside the health impacts of COVID, this pandemic has struck at some of our most fundamental needs and desires, the need to come together, to commune, to touch. The last year of our lives has underscored the importance of community and taught me the personal lesson that you can never take for granted the act of communing. And so last year may have been a wash, get it, a wash. I've been in a pandemic and locked in. My jokes are terrible. It may have been a wash last year, but we are still gathering this year, albeit virtually.
Alexa, lights on.
So I want to thank each and every one of you for being here tonight, for standing in solidarity with Face Africa, for showing your support for the remarkable work that this organization is doing. There are 785 million people in the world without access to clean water. And let me say, there are a number of organizations here in the United States working to address the global water crisis. But I'm not aware of any of them being started by an African and by an African woman. And that matters. It's not simply because about 320 million of those people live in sub-Saharan Africa, 320 million people have those water issues in sub-Saharan Africa. It's also because the global water crisis impacts the lives of women and girls more than it does our male counterparts. It has a greater impact on us. And so to have an organization that is led by someone who understands the nuances and the unique impacts of the problems undoubtedly leads to more robust and sustainable solutions to the crisis. The theme for this year's gala is water is personal. Water is life sustaining. That much we all know and can attest to. But in my opinion, what we don't talk about enough is that water can be life defining when you don't have enough of it. Through my work as a CNN journalist and as the founder of We Can Lead, a nonprofit organization working in Sierra Leone with adolescent girls, I have seen firsthand how much the struggle to access clean water shapes the way women and girls live their lives. Women and girls are the ones more often than not that walk the long distances to collect the water, exposing themselves to physical harm, impacting everything else that's going on in their lives. I am from Sierra Leone. I am from a country where for most of my life, I have never been able to open a tap and see water come out of it. There's always been a case of buying water, going to collect water. That has been my experience. My own mother, as a child, long before she became an academic and a politician, used to actually go and collect the water that her household needed for their chores and for her own personal needs. Water is personal. In Africa alone, women spend more than 40 billion hours, that's a B, 40 billion hours a year getting water. The work of Face Africa has never been more critical. We are at a time when washing your hands and personal hygiene is central to this fight against COVID. The work this organization is doing must be lauded and supported now more than ever. So I hope you will support their efforts. The fundraising goal for tonight is $100,000. Please, let's help them get there. To donate, simply text WASH 44321, WASH 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. But that's enough for me. Tonight, there will be inspiring speeches. We will be honoring leaders, incredible leaders and change makers. There's a virtual art auction. And oh yes, the after party on IG Live. That is there for us to look forward to. But time to kick things off with a musical performance from Afrobeat singer-songwriter Adekunle Gold. Enjoy your
Thank you very much, guys, for having me. I'm so honored to be here. I want to say congratulations to Face Africa on your 11th annual gala. This is a lot of achievements. It's been a long time coming, and I'm so happy for the great works that you've done. Water is life. Water is everything that everybody should be able to afford so easily. It's supposed to be accessible anywhere, and then you guys are providing thousands of homes good water. So big ups. I remember growing up, walking like kilometers away from my house to get good water for my family. It was such a crazy time where I remember the fights that would break out on the queue, just to struggle to get water. I remember how tedious it was to just find good water around and the locality. It was such a crazy time. But now I don't even think of it so much now. And maybe that's because I'm privileged now, but a lot of people are not, so that's why it's such a great thing that you're doing, guys. Well done. Thank you very much. If I lie for your love, will die now. I carry me go far away. If I lie for your love, will die now. What I carry me go far away. Will you let me prove I'm the answer, baby? When you're crying, I'll bring you laughter, baby. If you let me, girl, I can make it rain on you. If you love me, girl, I can drop the fame for you. I'll pay the price for your loving. Anything where you want to tell me. Let me be the one, to rock your world, oh. I'll pay the price for your loving. Anything you want, babe. I swear that I'm the one for you. Oh, na. If I lie for your love, oh, die now. But I carry me go far away. Yeah. If I lie for your love, oh, die now. But I carry me go. Oh, my love, oh. All men no be saying my bed. I know say some boys, try to show you say I love you, baby. I go put my life on the line. I carry your love for my head, oh. Every day and night like somebody. I will pay the price for your loving. Anything where you want to tell me. Let me be the one, oh, to rock your world, oh. I will pay the price for your loving. Anything you want, babe. I swear that I'm the one for you. Oh, na. If I lie for your love, oh, die now. Oh, die now. If I lie for your love, oh, die now. Yeah. Oh, oh, baby, oh, baby. Ego vini, oh, baby, oh, baby. Ego vini. I go take care of you, my lady, oh. Story you sweet past $1 billion. Oh, no, yeah. If I lie, make what I carry me go. Yeah. If I lie, make a bad feeling bed, oh. If I lie, make what I carry me go away. If I lie, oh, yeah. But I no get any.
Thank you all so much. Thank you, Adekunle, for that fabulous performance, appropriately titled Water, which is why we're all here this evening. Welcome, everyone. Can you all hear me? Just give me a thumbs up if you can. Wonderful. Everyone looks beautiful. Thank you, Isha, for that wonderful opening remarks and for just educating us about the water crisis and how it impacts and affects women, and for giving us that personal story about your own mother. I think it's safe to say that we've all had personal experiences with water, living in Africa and having to deal with the issue of not having access to water, sanitation. So thank you for sharing that. A huge welcome to everyone to the 11th annual Face Africa Wash Gala. In the beginning of the program, we saw a video highlight from our 2014 Wash Gala, and that seems just like a lifetime ago, given the times that we're in today. And as Isha said, we're now starting to really understand the importance of, social gathering and, being around each other and interacting. And I'm hoping that we're all really learning to appreciate the beauty of being able to just hug one another and touch one another and just be in the same space physically. So this is, definitely a teaching moment that we're all in today. But I just wanted to introduce myself. I'm Saran Kaba Jones, the founder and CEO of Face Africa. Face Africa is an organization that has been working on WASH initiatives, water, sanitation, hygiene initiatives, since 2009. We're focused primarily in Liberia, but we've also done projects in Nigeria as well, and we're looking to expand to Kenya, Mozambique, hopefully Sierra Leone, Burkina Faso. We want to be everywhere on the continent where there is a need. And the reason that I started this organization was because I was forced to flee Liberia when a devastating civil war broke out, and myself, along with hundreds of thousands of Liberians, left the country, moved overseas, and some stayed for 10, 20 years before deciding to go back home. I went back home after 20 years and I saw a country that was completely broken, completely devastated. Infrastructure was just decimated, no electricity, running water. And so I decided, along with many others, that I was going to do something about it, and I was going to come together with my fellow Liberians to help rebuild our country, literally from the ground up. And Face Africa was born out of the ashes of this conflict. Many of us went back home, and some went into government, some went into private sector, and some, like myself, went into the nonprofit space to help really address some of these basic social issues like access to clean water and health. And that's why we're all here today. Just wanted to say a big thank you to all of our supporters for joining in from around the world. I think the beauty of going virtual now is that, in a sense, with everything that's happened over the last year and not being able to have that physical interaction, in a sense, we're still somehow connected in this virtual space through the internet. And, we have some of our staff members from Liberia, Samuel and Tracy and John are tuning in from Liberia. They wouldn't have otherwise had the opportunity to join us in person. And so for them to be able to participate tonight, I think is a testament to the times that we're in today. A thank you to all of our sponsors as well, Target, and everyone all of our sponsors that have supported us tonight to make it possible. And I'm going to just go to a brief video that will show a little bit about the work that Face Africa does, and we will continue with the program. Thank you again all so much for tuning in on a Saturday night. Normally, I would say when you have so many other places that you could be, but we all know you ain't got nowhere to be, so you're stuck with us for the next hour and a half because no one's going anywhere. So please enjoy the program, and thank you all so much for tuning in.
Nearly 800 million people in the world live without clean water. Of this 800 million, 40% live in sub-Saharan Africa. That's 320 million people on the continent without safe drinking water. Liberia, a country of just under 5 million people, a country that went through a brutal civil war that wiped out existing water and sanitation infrastructure. Liberia is now on a path to recovery, but the challenges of water and sanitation remains. Face Africa was founded to help address these challenges, one community at a time. Since 2009, we've provided hundreds of communities with hope, health, and the opportunity to break the cycle of poverty through our WASH programs. And this is just the beginning.
Before the pond, we used to go on the creek to draw water. We used to draw the water, to make bag, put rope like this, put sand inside the bag because the water can be so dirty. Then we empty the water inside the bag, then that sand will sifted that water. That's the only way we have to drink that water.
Since Face Africa baby started in the hand pond, things have been going on well.
I'm so bright for it. I'm so happy. I can show some area that they are suffering too, the same way we were suffering. I need for Face Africa to come to help the people and too, the same way they helped me. I'm Joshua William.
I'm Chi Imayiwa Bawi.
I thank the donors and the Face Africa.
Thank you to the donors that send the money for the pressure to go on. And also thank to Face Africa.
It come into your hand. We want for you to help the food that we're eating together. That God will be with us in Jesus' name. I will pray.
For us, it's a matter of health because water-related illnesses kill more African children under age 5 than HIV/AIDS, malaria, and measles combined. For us, it's a matter of time because in Africa alone, women spend 40 billion hours a year walking for water. For us, it's a matter of education because clean water helps keep children in school. Over the last decade, our work has impacted nearly 250 lives through community-based WASH programs. And we have you to thank. We thank you for being on this journey with us, because together, we are championing the need for clean and safe water and bringing hope to so many. A hope that is needed now more than ever.
I just want to mention that we do have a virtual art auction going on, so please make sure to check out the art auction. And if you're interested in donating and supporting, please text WASH21 to the number 44321. Our goal tonight is to raise $100,000, and we've already reached half of that. So we're at almost $50,000, and we're hoping that by tonight, we can get to $100,000. We are having some, not quite a technical issue, but a capacity issue, which is a good thing. I never thought I'd be saying we're having a capacity issue for a virtual event, but that's what's happening right now. And some folks are having trouble getting in because we've reached maximum capacity. So we're trying to figure out a way to increase the capacity. So please stand by for those folks who are waiting. We're also going to try to stream this on Facebook Live, and we'll make sure to send a message out to our friends via email to tell them to join us on Facebook Live so that they too can be part of this experience. So going back to the program, part of what makes the WASH Gala special is not just gathering people to raise awareness and funds for much needed clean water access, but also recognizing individuals that are doing amazing work in different fields, whether it's in environmental sector or legal or human rights, health, you name it. we shine a spotlight, we highlight and recognize people who are doing amazing work. And that's one of the things we're going to be doing tonight. And in order to introduce our first honoree, please welcome our co-chair for the evening, Adeniran.
Sorry. Okay, can you guys hear me? Great, all right. Sorry about that. Good evening and welcome to the Face Africa 11th Annual Wash Gala. My name is Adeniran. I am co-chair of this year's virtual Wash Gala, and I'm so excited to welcome to our Face Africa family all around the world to join us in a celebration and help raise awareness and much needed funds for clean water in sub-Saharan Africa. I am Adeniran. I am a person that grew up in Brooklyn with my mother and my father and my family, who are directly from, my parents came from Nigeria, and I grew up here in the States. I remember going back to Nigeria, and the biggest shock was there was no water. I just wanted to get a glass of water. You know, being a, as they used to call me, the spoiled American boy, I just thought there was accessible water and accessible things firsthand. So I realized really quickly in Ibadan that things were going to be different for the time that I was there. So to get into tonight, I'm honored to present the 2021 Rising Star Award. The award has two primary purposes: to provide early recognition and acknowledgement to an individual who shows promise, knowing that this can help them expand their aspirations and widen their network, and provide a path to help expand their work in advocacy. The Rising Star recognizes individual who has already made significant contributions to the community and demonstrated the potential for leadership and continuing service. This is where it gets good. Let me introduce you to this young 13-year-old. Okay, let me say that again. I'm 46 years old. I've done a few things in my life, but by 13, I have done nothing what this woman has done, young lady has done. Now, let me introduce you to this 13-year-old from Flint, Michigan, known as Little Miss Flint. She first rose to a public spotlight with her letter that she wrote to President Obama about the water crisis in Flint, prompted him to visit the city and survey the water crisis himself. The visit ultimately led to him approving $100 million in relief to the city of Flint, Michigan. Since then, she has used the platform to not only bring awareness to her community and give back, but she also has raised $500,000 for her Flint Kids Project, giving away over 1 million bottles in water. To date, she has raised $400,000 to produce her very own water filter that is shipped all over the country to people who are facing toxic water drinking needs. She has been featured in Teen Vogue, Time Magazine, Washington Post, NBC News, and countless others. When Mari grows up, she plans to run for president in 2044. Are y'all ready to check the box? Get your voter registration in, make sure you're counted, make sure you bring somebody to the poll, because this young lady is on the path. Not only am I asking you tonight to support her campaign in the 2044 presidential run, but I am inviting you to join me in honoring Miss Mari Copeny as the Face Africa 2021 Rising Star honoree.
Okay. Thank you so much for honoring me with this award. When I began my journey as an activist at only 8 years old, I had no idea what I was doing was activism. Back then, I was just a kid that was confused about the water crisis that my city was facing. Adults didn't seem to be doing anything to fix the problem, and I wanted to see if I could help fix it myself. I had to see myself in family of rashes from the water. I had to see my little sister be covered in rashes that resemble chemical burns. We had to learn not to use tap water, and I was sad because I couldn't take a bubble bath. So I stepped up and tried to see if the adults would listen to me. And after lots of marches and protests, they did. I was able to get the attention of President Obama, who came to visit Flint and then authorized $1 million to fix the pipes. I have been able to meet and work with dozens of politicians and leaders. I am currently the youngest delegate in the U.S. delegation to the 65th session of the UN Commission on the Status of Women. I've raised over $1 million and went from giving out bottled water locally to having my very own filter that I ship nationwide. I have been able to raise awareness about toxic water, not just in my hometown of Flint, but all across the United States, because sadly, poor water quality is as American as apple pie. Anybody can be a leader, even a little black girl from Flint, Michigan. Thank you again for this award. To be honored internationally means my message is being heard globally. Thank you.
Thank you, Marie. Congratulations. You are amazing. Gosh, like Ade said, when we were 13, we were definitely not thinking along these lines. And you were 8 years old when you decided you were going to do something about a problem that was affecting your community. And that was personal to you because when I read your story, I read that your siblings had been getting sick from contaminated water. And so you took it personally. And just like I decided I was going to do something to fix a problem that I saw in my country, you did something similar, except when I decided I was going to do it, I was already in my 20s. You were 8 years old. I'm still trying to wrap my head around that. You are truly an inspiration. You're one of my water heroes, which is why I thought it would be so perfect to recognize you and to honor you. I just had one question for you. What was it like for you to be amongst all these incredibly powerful women and men at the UN as the youngest US delegate to the UN? What was that like for you? Because, I mean, you've rubbed shoulders with President Obama and so many other politicians. So probably wasn't that intimidating for you, but what was that experience like?
Okay, so I don't get to experience that experience yet until next week, since the whole thing is next week. But I feel like I'm gonna be like super proud and excited, and I won't feel like overwhelmed or anything, because like honestly, I kind of deserve it, you know? Like I kind of just deserve it. I mean, I worked all the way up to being here, to being this far, and honestly, just good job to me. Like honestly, like good job to me.
Amen to that. You know what? You just taught me a really good lesson, you know, like big up yourself, you know, be proud of yourself. And yes, absolutely. You deserve to be in any and every single room that you're invited into. So thank you so much for everything that you do. We will continue to support you. We will continue to champion you. And hopefully when outside opens and we start to sort of gather and meet in person, we would love to organize a meeting with you in person just to say how much we love and appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome.
And we're gonna go to another quick video.
Hello, my name is Mari Copeny from the Hope Mission, Liberia. I want to extend my thanks and appreciation to the Face Africa for their project at Hope Mission. Since the pump in the latrine was installed, it has really been a help to the Hope Mission School as well as the Bonus Farm community. There have been too many cases with like diarrhea, ringworm, like we call it in Liberia, yeah, small bomb and all of that. But since they installed the pump, Face Africa installed the pump, yeah, we now have safe drinking water. Before, we used to go to the creek to get water, like 30 minutes going and coming back. So the kids used to carry buckets and would get water for the latrines and then stream the water to get it to drink. It caused so many problems for us in our community. But since Face Africa came and installed the pump here, it has really been a help to us. And we see the health status of our students. We're not experiencing like much running stomach again, skin disease, and red eyes, itchy eyes. So we are very grateful to Face Africa, and especially for the latrine. It was very scary from the beginning. The kids used to go to use the bush, to eat themselves, as well as the teachers. And in the grass, we have snakes and all of that. So it really used to worry the administration when it comes to that. Until Face Africa came and installed the latrine here, 6-unit latrine, which we have been using since then till now. And it's a very help. Even for our communities, there were no latrine. People can't build their homes with a latrine because of the low income. So they also come to the campus and then use the latrine too. So it has really been a help to the school and the community. I want to say again to Face Africa, thank you so much. That God will continue to bless you as you remain a blessing to the Hope Mission School and the Bona Farm community. Thank you so much and happy Water Day.
Right. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, everybody, wherever you might be. And I just want to say how glad I am to have heard Mari speak earlier on, and what an inspiration that is. So World Water Day, of course, is the 22nd of March, and I'm just so glad to be at this 11th Face Africa Wash Gala. My name is Sandra Masharia. I am the chief of the Africa section in the UN's Department of Global Communications in New York. And again, I just want to say this, where else would I rather be tonight? Just thinking about the theme for this year, that water is personal. And also just reflecting on the UN Secretary General's message for World Water Day, the theme of which is valuing water. So what does water mean to you? What does water mean to me? And I remember just growing up and thinking about when we had sort of both power cuts and water cuts. And you would remember, like, with electricity, you can get by with that for, a few days, but with water, you simply just cannot get away with too many days without water. And I have to say that for me, water is protection. It's what we do for dignity, and it's for climate change, and all the things that we think about. And so I just want to thank you, Saran, for this opportunity for really shining a light on this really important thing, which is just about, which really is about dignity and protection, and really just allowing people to live lives that are fuller and with more opportunity, and to be able to pursue their dreams. So thank you so much for that. And so that brings me to the award that I'm about to announce, and I'm just so glad to be able to do this. And the name of the award is the Face Africa 2021 Wash Gala Advocate Honoree. And good ideas may be created in policy centers and government offices, but the best ideas emerge from the daily experiences of community residents and their organizations as they work to improve their conditions. The Face Africa Award honors and celebrates individuals who are champions of social transformation through community-driven initiatives, believing that the most effective solutions to systemic issues are created when leaders of community-based organizations partner with their communities to mobilize, engage, and develop solutions for lasting change. Solome Lemma. Solome Lemma is the executive director of Thousand Currents and co-founder of Africans in the Diaspora, AID. Africans in the Diaspora was formed with the belief that Africans abroad and on the continent have an important role to play in development in Africa. AID leverages the collective resource, capacity, and power of Africans in the diaspora and on the continent to fortify transformative grassroots solutions in Africa. Previously, she served as Global Fund for Children's Senior Program Officer for Africa for over 5 years and has worked with the UN Development Program in Ethiopia, Human Rights Watch in New York City, and the International Rescue Committee in Liberia. Born in Ethiopia and moving to the United States at a young age, Solome quickly learned of the skewed perspectives held of Africans and is a White House champion of change for her work with diaspora communities. Believing that we are powerful together, Africans in the Diaspora affirms and builds on the strengths, resources, and opportunities that Africans globally hold. Solome has spent over a decade advocating for community-led initiatives in the Global South and transformative grassroots solutions in Africa. Tonight, we honor her for being a strong voice against inequitable and ineffective partnerships and a fierce supporter of local leadership. And I am so proud to present Solome Lemma as the Face Africa 2021 Wash Gala Advocate Honoree.
Thank you for that introduction. And hello, Face Africa. Thank you so much for the recognition and this lovely award. I am deeply humbled and honored. There's really nothing more meaningful than being seen by your own people, especially to be seen at a time when we've all learned what and who is essential. As I accept this, I'm also thinking about the Africans who were essential to our survival this past year, be it doctors or gas station employees, nurses or grocery workers, hotel or hospital staff. Thank you for showing up on the front lines daily so that we may continue to live. Speaking of essential, there is nothing more essential than water. Over the next decade, we not only have to make sure every single African has access to clean and safe water, but that we are protecting our water and natural systems like food and land from extraction and exploitation, so that we may gift them to the future like we've received them from the past. I have spent most of my time working with grassroots groups and social movements working for change in Africa. A colleague once said to me, grassroots groups and social movements are the essential workers of social change. At a time when movements have been expanding our ideas of dialogue, policy, or even imagination from the US to Nigeria, Sudan to South Africa, that statement about movements and grassroots organizing being essential to our survival and our future couldn't be any more true. The next decade is critical for Africa and African peoples because of issues like climate change, rising inequality, authoritarianisms, natural resource extraction, to name just a few. What we do today matters. What we choose now will reverberate across generations. Fortunately, from the north to south, east to west, African grassroots groups and social movements are tackling these challenges directly. They are building the more just, equitable, free, and open systems, institutions, and nations that we all need. What they need from us is support and solidarity. If I have one ask of you today, it is to identify what type of grassroots organizing or movement organizing is taking place and the issues or places that you care about and start connecting with them. If you don't know where to start, we would be happy to support you at Thousand Currents or Africans in the Diaspora. Thank you again to Face Africa for this recognition. I am so grateful that Saran, the staff, the board, and various host committees found purpose in this essential issue in need of water over a decade ago and have been working tirelessly and consistently to keep it at the forefront of our minds, hearts, and pockets. I'm not sure what brought each one of you through these virtual doors today, but I do hope the critical work that organizations like Face Africa or other grassroots groups or social movements are doing, the urgency of the moment that we are all facing, and the immense possibilities to build better futures, keep you actively engaged here and beyond. Thank you again and have a lovely evening.
My name is Opidayo J. Mayo. I'm with Face Africa. Where I'm Face Supervisor on the watch side. I'm also going around for assessment. I can go on the field to select a place and I can carry them there to do the work for people to get safe drinking water. All the places we've been working for the watch. No good latrine, no good hospital, no good school in rural country. Very now, we are very suffering in Liberia. There is a shop. I want to pray God that maybe if I finish with the horse and if God made me to make more money, I want to put goods and other things in the shop. This is my pineapple farm, and this pineapple it already grew, and you know it will soon be getting food for people to eat. Factory. You produce oil, red oil. You also use the oil to face washing soap. In 10 years from now, I want to see Liberia to grow good.
Thank you all again so much. This is Saran Kaba Jones. Thank you for tuning in to the 11th Annual WASH Gala. Thank you, Solome, for that beautiful speech and everything you said about the urgency of the moment. I think that's so critical when it comes to getting us to act. We were having some capacity issues, so I just want to make a quick announcement before we move to our next speaker, who I'm so excited to hear from because I'm a huge fan. And I just got word that my video is not on. Can you all see me now? Great. I just wanted to make a quick announcement that we're now live on Facebook. So for everyone who couldn't join us in the Zoom before, please head to the Face Africa Facebook page so that you can sort of join us in the program and follow what's happening now. And now we are going to go to our next speaker, the amazing, the incredible Bozoma St. John.
Thank you so much, Saran. It's wonderful to be here tonight. You know, I am always so impressed and inspired by you. So thank you for having me back again, even virtually. I've been flipping through the pages just to see people's faces, and it's so wonderful. I mean, it's just so heartwarming. So although you're right, we're stuck at home, it's still wonderful to be able to be gathered here and to see people. And great to be here at the WASH Gala again, because the last time we were in person, in 2019, I received the award for the Voice of Change, and it was such an honor. You know, the award meant so much to me because it's about using your voice and your platform to advocate for diversity and inclusion in the workplace and in society. And we know that the human voice is more than just a vehicle for self-expression. You know, it can be a vehicle for social good. So no matter what you stand for or what you speak on behalf of, your words and your ideas have the power to affect change. You know, in this award, it's awarded to an individual that makes high level and sometimes challenging choices to create positive systemic change. The award was created to celebrate leaders who take risks and stand up for ideals that may not be the norm and that may push some boundaries and some buttons, but they benefit society greatly. So I am so excited to be able to introduce the awardee tonight. Representative Ilhan Omar was unanimously selected by our Gala committee for the 2021 award because she truly stands on the front lines of change. She's fighting for everyday people, working class people, poor people, and every single person who lives on the margins of society. Now, to tell you a little bit about her, she was born in Somalia, and her family fled the country's civil war when she was 8. The family spent 4 years in a refugee camp in Kenya before coming to the United States in the 1990s. And in 1997, she moved to Minneapolis with her family. As a teenager, Representative Omar's grandfather inspired her to get involved in politics. But before running for office, she worked as a community educator at the University of Minnesota, as a policy fellow at the Humphrey School of Public Affairs, and served as a senior policy aide for the Minneapolis City Council. Representative Omar was sworn into office in January 2019. I was very excited about that, making her the first African refugee to become a member of Congress and the first woman of color to represent Minnesota, and one of the first 2 Muslim American women elected to Congress. She advocates for many of the issues that she hears about, but most of her constituents, like investing in education and freeing students from the shackles of debt, ensuring a fair wage for a hard day's work, creating a just immigration system, and tackling the existential threat of climate change. Representative Omar also plans to resist attempts to divide us and push destructive policies that chip away at our rights and freedoms, and to build a more inclusive and compassionate culture, one that will allow our economy to flourish and encourage more Americans to participate in our democracy. Now, I've been up close and personal with one of the reasons why I'm most proud of Representative Omar, which is her daughter, Isra. In 2019, she and I sat on a panel together at Together Live, and I was so impressed by her. She's an environmental activist, and in 2020 was named on Fortune's 40 Under 40 Government and Politics list. I mean, just impressive. So when we think about what role can the next generation of young leaders play in securing a brighter future for Africa, well, we just have to look at Representative Omar, her daughter, and understand that whether you're on the continent or in the diaspora, we can take cues from a living legend like Representative Ilhan Omar. So let's take a look and applaud her award tonight.
Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction, Bonzora. It almost made me tear up. And then I almost lost it when you started mentioning Isra. I did not know she was going to be so much part of the introduction. She is the bride and joy of my life. And just really grateful to Face Africa for having this opportunity. And hello to all of you. I'm so sorry that we are not able to gather in person this year, but I'm so glad we are still able to hold this event. I know that we are in a difficult time for the continent and for Black diaspora as a whole. The world is dealing with the largest pandemic and economic crisis in generations. Here in America, Black Americans are far more likely to contract the virus and nearly 4 times as likely to die from it than white Americans. While Africa has been spared the infection rates that we are experiencing here in the United States, the economic consequences for the continent are devastating, sending sub-Saharan Africa into first recession in 25 years. Water access remains scarce in sub-Saharan Africa, and the climate crisis threatens this even more. So yes, times are difficult, but despite this, I'm more inspired than ever. Thousands of young people led by Black activists are taking to the streets here in the United States, demanding an end to systematic racism in all of its forms, whether it is in the form of police brutality or economic racism. We are seeing a growing coalition of majority of Americans who are rejecting presidents and leaders that traffic in xenophobia and the torture of immigrants and open encouragement of racism. I'm inspired by the people of Sudan who have overthrown a dictator. It was women who bore the burden of that 30-year authoritarian rule and who helped lead the overthrow and represent 70% of people in the streets. I'm inspired by countries like Senegal, who following an international cooperation during the Ebola crisis has had an enormous effective response to the COVID crisis in the world. I'm inspired by the movements that are happening in the Democratic Republic of Congo and Somalia, where in the face of incredible odds and devastating violence, there are extraordinary groups that are building a lasting community-based sustainable peace. There is enormous opportunity in a generation that is working towards an Africa that is politically free, economically independent, and demanding the rights of all Africans. We as leaders must center and support the amazing social movements and locally driven initiatives that are occurring all over the continent. As the vice chair of the Africa subcommittee in the United States Congress, I will continue to advocate for self-determination, economic engagement, and development assistance for the whole continent. So my message to you is to keep organizing, to keep building movements and institutions that steer our world into a more equitable, exclusive, and sustainable path. Even in these trying times, there is so much hope and inspiration all around us. Thank you so much for this award, and thank you for honoring me. It's quite humbling to be here with you all.
Thank you so much. And congratulations again on this honor. Of course, because we have you here for a moment, would love to hear from you thoughts about how anyone on this call can even use their voice continuously for change, given how powerful your own voice is.
Yeah, I think oftentimes we forget just how powerful our voices are. I remember reading a quote, I don't know who it was from, but it was also often the lessons that my grandfather and father gave to me, is that it's really important for us to feel internally liberated so that we can fight for external liberation. And once we realize that we are powerful human beings, we end up showing up as powerful human beings in the world. And so know that you are powerful, know that your voice is needed, know that there is no limitations for you. And we as Africans have contributed to the formation of society and must continue to contribute to the expansion of society.
Thank you so much. I couldn't help it but take a few seconds more of your time. So thank you so much for that. And congratulations again. Back to you, Saran.
Thank you, Bozoma. Congresswoman Omar, thank you so much for joining us, for those words of wisdom. Thank you for encouraging us and pushing us to keep organizing and to keep using our voices and our platform to advocate for those who are less fortunate or those who need us to advocate for them. We really appreciate you taking time out of your very, very busy schedule to join us today, and congratulations on your award. Thank you again, Bozoma, for joining us. And we have just a few more minutes to go before we jump to intermission, which will include another amazing performance by Adekunle Gold. Just wanted to give a quick update on our fundraising total and remind you again to text WASH21 to 44321. That's WASH21. If you pick up your phone and just put 44321 and then text the letter WASH21, that will take you to a page that will allow you to make a donation, whether it's $10, $20, $100, every little bit counts. And our goal is to get to $100,000 by the end of the night. So I encourage you to send those donations in. And we are now going to take
Saran?
Yes.
Hi, this is Gala Jennings O'Byrne. I'm one of the host committee members. And I just wanted to let everyone know that I'm making a pledge. I don't know what brought you here today, but I hope you will tap into that. And I hope you will also join us in making a contribution tonight. And I will commit that the first two people that pledge during this break, I will match your contribution. So if ever you wanted to double your money, now is the time. So please join us. And thank you so much, Saran, Bozma, all of our honorees, Isha. This has been a wonderful night. Thank you so much for having me. And again, the next two people that pledge, I will match whatever you pledge. So dig deep, dig hard.
Dig real deep, guys, as deep as the wells that we build in Liberia. 10,000, 20,000 deep if you can. Thank you so much, Gala. We appreciate that. Thank you all so much for joining us, for sticking with us. The night is just beginning. This is just the halfway show, and we have some more incredible individuals we're going to hear from. And we're just going to go to break now and watch an amazing performance by Adekunle Gold. Thank you all so much.
Now, let's go. Make I day where you day, now where you day, they make me day happy. You're real. I'm falling for you long time, yeah, yeah, yeah. Jore, 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 jore. Oh yeah, jore, 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 jore. Yeah, jore, 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 jore. What am I gonna do, girl? Jore, jore, jore. You're my life saving. It's for you, yeah. I made my choice, baby. I'll live for you, yeah. Jore, jore, jore. Baby, my love back, will. My love far away. Then oh, get joy. I will be loving you. I see nothing bigger than you, baby. Oh yeah, jore, 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 jore. Yeah, jore, jore, jore. Baby, oh yeah, take it away. Oh yeah, jore, 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 jore. for you, my baby. It's for you, my baby. You read my life, say. You read my life, say. It's for you, my love. It's for you, my love, yo. Yeah, yeah. I do my down. Aha! Oh. Eh. 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 Come on, Lou. Rain or shine, money don't buy charisma. Me, I just get my vibe. I get my vibe. Oh, oh, for life. Gucci no go sell the swagger. That thing don't come overnight. It don't come overnight. Yeah, yeah. Emi ni fata, she jeje. Baba ni fata, show mo. Emi don dada, AG baby. Baba ni fata, show mo. Juice so nice, whiskey on the side. Word of advice. Oh yeah, slow your roll, boy. Oh yeah, kele keme oh. Ogoro no be vodka, kele keme oh. Go to Isha, agbada, kele keme. It's time to talk the talk. I've been playing this shit safe for long. You don't run anybody more. But man should be around. Maruwan should be immortal. Ekun should be epic. Àjùwọ̀n lọ tó bá yá wọn máa gbà kẹ̀kẹ́ lóhùn sáré. Eré kìlò fẹ́ sá o, tó fẹ́ ju ti mọ́tò. You say you're number one, but I me get you baby. Kẹ̀lẹ́gbẹ̀mẹ̀gbẹ̀ ooo. Ògógóró náà bí vodka. Kẹ̀lẹ́gbẹ̀mẹ̀gbẹ̀ ooo. Go to Isha, agbada, kele. Aha! Are you ready?
We ready.
Let's go.
You know, see the go down.
What? Oh yeah. Bada bada ba bam ba bam bam bada da. Hey. One more time, let's go. Hey. Bada bada ba bam ba bam ba da da da. Hit it. 1, 2, 3, go. I beg you, oh. Kele be oh. Come on.
Amazing. Who else felt like they were actually in like a spot? Anyway, welcome back, and let's hear from Pauline Egan.
Thank you, Saran. Oh, unmute myself. That's what I want to do. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. And for those of you that are, for whatever reason, not able to get in, I hope you're viewing this on Instagram Live. We love you. Thank you for your support. We will fix this, and we are recording this event, and we will share it. Thank you so much, Saran. My first experience of the Wash Gala was 2 years ago in New York, when I got to go to the 2019 Wash Gala as a guest. And very soon after, I was joined with Saran in Face Africa. She brought me on board, which was an honor of my life and continues to be every day. So thank you, Saran, for inspiring me every single day to work harder for this cause, and for our incredible host committee, who are absolutely amazing, and not to mention the most stylish freaking group of people I've ever met. And also to our amazing sponsors tonight, Target, Niraj Bhatia, Jersey Art Productions, and all of you. I also have to mention that Bazoma, I just noticed a donation from you that was ridiculously generous, and I just want to say thank you so much. And thank you, Gala, as well, for offering to match donations. Anyway, enough about that. I wanted to introduce our spotlight, our Influence for Change spotlight for 2021. Now, this is not a spotlight that existed prior to this event. So we actually created this because of this person, Michelle Carre. Michelle Carre is a YouTuber extraordinaire. She has spent the last number of years taking on extreme challenges, including training with the FBI, training with the Spider-Man stunt team, doing all kinds of crazy things. And we met doing a short film together. And I thought, gee, it might be interesting if she was able to do some kind of video that took on an extreme challenge, but also raised awareness for an important global issue, such as clean water. And so I challenged Michelle to live on 1 bucket of water for a day, which reflects somewhat of the reality of the women and girls in Africa and the amount of water that they have to live on. Needless to say, she took on the challenge like a champion and made an amazing video, which had an incredible impact, especially on the younger generation. And here is the clip. We love you, Michelle. Thank you.
Last year I did a video where I took on the Water Walk Challenge, where I basically completed a 2-mile hike in the wilderness to obtain 5 gallons of water. This was to simulate the same walk that millions of women in Africa do every single day, multiple times a day, to get water for their families. The next question I have is, what is it like for these women when they return home? To put this into perspective, this is what 5 gallons looks like. This is the average amount of water a person in a rural community in sub-Saharan Africa uses on a daily basis. And this is the average amount of water a person in America uses every day. So a big part of today is going to be making sure that I don't contaminate this bucket of everything. Wetting my toothbrush is probably the lowest priority out of everything I do today. However, I'm also trying to stick to my normal routine as much as I can. There have been like 7 times already where I've just almost instinctively reached for the sink.
Nope, can't use the sink.
God damn it. I think I need to sacrifice some of my water now. I've just been sitting here watching my very precious water evaporate for about 7 minutes, and it's still not even boiling yet. You know what else I just realized? I'm also gonna need to boil my drinking water for the whole day. I'm honestly sitting here contemplating whether or not I should wash the dishes, but I know that if I leave dirty dishes out, that'll probably, over time, cause mold or even bugs and flies.
You f***ed up again.
Oh my God. Okay, this is gonna go over here. This is going over here.
I think we have to leave some water for that.
Fine. So I just went to the restroom, so now I need to pour out an entire gallon of water to represent how much water I used for my clean sanitation. There's something to be said about the level of privilege we have in America to be able to go to the gym and work out for fun rather than out of necessity by hiking all the way to get water for our families and not have to worry about those things. I feel like today has been a bit more than, you know, let's see how much water I can survive off of in a day. It's making me acutely aware of the technology and products that are available to me every single day. Like there are 3 faucets in this room and a toilet. Like, that's crazy. It's honestly kind of amazing how water is connected to everything. I'm also just thinking about the privilege of having a grocery store, being able to just go somewhere and pick out all the things I want to eat, instead of having to grow everything, which also requires water. This is all I have left. And while at first I was like, oh man, I made it to the end of the day, I have a little bit to drink, I remembered, oh no, I have to brush my teeth, wash my face, probably drink way more water than what's in here, probably go to the bathroom again. This is not gonna cover a flush. The reality is that many women in Africa spend 6 hours a day fetching water and the rest of the day rationing the water. What I did today barely scratched the surface of that, but definitely gave me immense perspective on how no one can survive off of 5 gallons a day.
And congratulations to all of the other honorees tonight, as well as Saran, Pauline, and Face Africa for this recognition. Tonight has been so incredible. I am literally over the moon inspired by every single person who's been here tonight. So I'm just grateful to be a part of this all. When I began working with Face Africa a couple years ago, I had no idea the level of impact we'd be able to make through the power of social media. What started as a simple video upload on my channel became a really cool community movement all across the world. The majority of the fundraising we did was done by high school clubs, local communities, and grassroots efforts. Shout out to Gen Z, you guys rock. What we had was a really special moment when social media was used for good, which is rare. I mean, if you open Twitter, you know what I'm talking about. It's rare. And I loved this opportunity because it was one where we got to educate the younger generation and also encourage youth activism. What I learned from this experience is that every single voice matters. Every step forward matters, no matter how small. And we have a responsibility to leave the world a little bit better than the way we found it. So thank you so much again for hosting tonight and bringing us all together. Anyone who's joining here from my community, thank you for your support, and I highly encourage you to consider making a donation to Face Africa so we can keep this forward momentum going. Thank you so much.
Great, thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Pauline, for that introduction. Thank you, everyone who's tuning in. We're also on IG Live and Facebook Live, and apologies again for those who were not able to join in the Zoom. Due to capacity issue, we will have a recording of this and we'll be sure to share it with everyone. It is my pleasure and honor to now introduce Jody Patterson. She's an author, she's an activist, she's a beauty explorer, and a mother of 5. I have 3 children, and sometimes I'm just like, oh, so I can't imagine 5. So she's a superhero. She holds the position of chair of the Human Rights Campaign Foundation Board, the nation's largest LGBT organization. As a globally recognized activist, she speaks on topics of radical parenting, identity, and gender. I've been reading about her over the last couple of days, and I'm just so fascinated by everything that she does. And we are honored to welcome her tonight. Welcome, Jody.
Good evening, good people. I actually had a hard time logging on. It was so packed, the room, I couldn't get on, but then somehow it worked out. So I'm Jody Patterson, and I am so happy to be here with you tonight. As you heard, I'm the chair of the Human Rights Campaign Foundation Board. I'm not usually into titles, being a New Yorker and a mom, we don't really use titles, but that one in particular sounds really good to me. It feels good when I say it. HRC is the largest LGBT human rights organization in the world, period, hands down, right? We're mostly known for our political muscle. We have a PAC, a super PAC, we lobby, we help time and time again pro-equality officials get elected, sometimes even presidents when we're lucky, right? But what's lesser known about HRC and what brought me to the organization are the programs we run, programs that touch communities that others don't. HBCUs, trans youth, Black men in the South living with AIDS, public schools, faith-based communities. To put it simply, HRC uplifts, protects, advocates for, and supports those who need it most. But here's where it gets really good. In 2019, HRC hired its first Black president, Alphonso David, right? I know it's big. Being Liberian, gay, and running the largest LGBT organization is in and of itself historic. But he's more than his title. I have to tell you that. He's more than the title. He's more than words. He really is the real deal. I'm not going to read off his bio. You can Google him for that. It's long and impressive. But what I want to talk about tonight is Alphonso as the man and the leader. This may sound strange, but Alphonso reminds me of the Black women, the Southern Black women who raised me, right? Women who continuously challenged the status quo, who fought against bias, challenging it every day, but all the while keeping the family together, right? That's the unity aspect of it. For too long, leaders have prioritized individualism, competition, top-down authority. We've tried to get the highest return on investment from everything, the office, the home, the land, the people, right? The highest ROI from the people. But that approach has proven to be deadly. It's not working. We need new leadership. Leadership today, leadership from what Alphonso is doing is listening to the voices of the people you serve and allocating resources to their needs. It's about advocacy for all. Alphonso sees people first, not just laws and legislature, but people first. And he leads with humanity always. I witnessed him de-escalate the anxiety of a global pandemic, one person at a time, myself included. In the hospital with COVID, he called me and we talked it out together. And with that, he had early action in our organization, a very big organization, right? A clunky organization. HRC is a big, massive organization, but he had understanding of the urgency of COVID. He moved quickly and with the audacity of hope. He's a fearless optimist. That combination of intellect, speed, and hope led HRC into our strongest, most impressive financial year to date. With Alphonso's leadership. I've seen Alphonso speak in a room, mostly white, wealthy men. And literally he's raised the emotional IQ of the entire audience by addressing the elephant in the room, white supremacy, right? And he does it so gracefully. He speaks with the soul of an old Southern activist and the compassion of a spiritual yogi. He meditates and does yoga literally daily. I know this for a fact. His leadership style is about collaboration, not domination. And in just over a year, that approach, that humanistic approach has paid off. He secured the single largest grant in HRC's history, $3.2 million towards health equity research. This is all done under Alphonso's leadership. I'm proud to work with Alphonso and to witness his leadership up close as a friend, a trusted colleague, and a co-conspirator in activism. I'm so glad that Face Africa recognizes Alphonso's leadership, this particular style of leadership. And I'm proud to present Alphonso David with the Excellence Leadership Award. Alphonso. Did you know I was doing this for you?
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Jody Patterson, thank you so much for those kind words. Jody Patterson has been such a strong, compassionate, and important voice for change in so many different ways. And as you heard, she is the chair of the Human Rights Campaign Foundation Board. And in that role, she has really been a true force for equality for all people. Jody, thank you so much for that introduction. To Face Africa and its leadership, board, members, and supporters, thank you for this recognition and award. I really appreciate your support of the work that I have done and continue to do to advance justice and equality for all. To my fellow awardees, congratulations. It is an honor to share this recognition with you. And to all of you who are joining us today, tonight, this morning, depending on where you are, I accept this award in recognition that we can all, in our own individual ways, lead to effect change in our communities. At the end of 2019, I had the privilege of meeting with young LGBTQ leaders in Accra, Ghana. These dynamic activists have taken to heart Secretary Kofi Annan's words, which are, "You are never too young to lead." They were savvy and strategic about the political and social landscape and well aware of the challenges that they faced. But they are not daunted. With tenacity, with fellowship, with joy, they have envisioned a better world for themselves and their loved ones. And they have been driving hard to bring that world to life. As a young gay person growing up in Liberia, I would have loved to have seen role models, people like me, change makers who were openly LGBTQ and who were working to build a better world for everyone so that they can thrive as their true selves. I'm so glad that now, today, there are many openly LGBTQ activists all across the world and across the continent of Africa who are driving much needed progress for their communities, their nations, and for all people. At the Human Rights Campaign, which is, as Jody mentioned, the nation's largest and the world's largest civil rights organization fighting for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer people, I have had the privilege to work alongside young LGBTQ leaders from communities across Africa, the diaspora, and around the world. These leaders are the future of the movement and our greater movement for civil rights and human rights. And I know that we have many of those leaders maybe watching this evening or this morning from across movements who are working towards a better and a brighter future for all of us. And if I could ask you to remember one thing, it would be this. Being a leader does not mean you have president in your title or activism in your day job. It simply means that you embrace the audacity to take the change that it takes to change the world. That you put your action where your inspiration is. We all have inspiration, but we need to actually take our inspiration and put them into action. And that is what leadership is. Whether you are donating to support clean water, tax banking to support your favorite candidate, running for office yourself, volunteering with your place of worship, protesting in the streets with your friends, or starting your own organization, you are making progress possible. And right now, the world needs your leadership more now than ever before. As we gather and we celebrate Face Africa, billions of people, unfortunately, are being denied their basic human rights. As we all know, 1 in 3 people do not have access to safe drinking water, from access to safe sanitation to access to basic healthcare, from living wages to being able to live safely as their true selves. Our global siblings are living in crisis, and none of us can or should sit on the sidelines. Secretary Annan said once that we're not only responsible for each other's security, we're also in some measure responsible for each other's welfare. Global solidarity is both necessary and possible. It's necessary because without a measure of solidarity, no society can be truly stable, and no one's prosperity can truly be secure. So tonight, I challenge each and every one of us to see ourselves as a part of this vision of global solidarity. The world tells us that it is necessary, and the work tells us that it is possible. This is indeed possible. The leaders who showed us the past and showed us the path, because they're two different things. We need to learn from our history, and we need to see our history developing a path to the future. And all of us who are walking on that path today are changing the horizons of what is possible every single time we step. Because every time we step on that path, we realize that the path is not only possible, but it's real. And every time we step, there is a victory, whether it be small or big. I want to just thank all of you for joining me and joining Face Africa and joining Jody and everyone else that is fighting for freedom and liberation and justice for all. Joining me on that path, because I believe that in unity, we can really make liberation not only possible, but real. We have to get to the point where we believe that we're not just simply fighting for equality, but we're fighting for liberation. And that liberation can actually be fully realized. I want to thank you again for giving me this award, recognizing the work that we do, and joining me and joining us on this path to true liberation. Thank you again.
Thank you so much, Alphonso. That was such an inspiring speech. It's such an honor to have you as a part of our community. Thank you for all you do, and congratulations on the award. You deserve every bit of it. And I'm just so inspired and honored to just be a part of this journey with you. So thank you for all you do. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I've been so inspired by all the honorees and all the speeches that we've heard tonight. If you're not inspired, I really need you to search really deep in your heart and really see what's blocking it, because it's such a great night, and just the amazing power, the collective power that we have in this room is just amazing. We really are in the position to change the world and to bring positive change to all facets of society. So it's just really an honor to be a part of this and just be a part of this amazing community. I'm Lola Banjo, for anyone that doesn't know me. I have been a host committee member of Face Africa and an avid supporter for almost a decade now. And I'm just so inspired by everything that Saran has done to bring this organization together, all the work that we do, all the work that we collectively do, and everyone that it impacts. It has a deep personal meaning to me. Water is absolutely personal. So just a quick background on myself. I'm Nigerian. I was born and raised in Brooklyn, but I did spend a good portion of my formative years in Lagos, Nigeria. And I didn't live on the island, or, as people, will say, Victoria Island, Ikoyi. I lived in Agege, which is definitely the mainland, and definitely can be described in several ways, but it was not glamorous. And we had a lot of water issues. So a lot of the videos that was shown today and a lot of the stories that have been told deeply resonates with me, because we had a lot of water outages. I was one of those women, those girls that was fetching water, walking miles to go fetch water at the one community well that had clean water, or that had water, and we had to bring the water to boil. So all of this resonates so deeply and so personally to me, because I've seen the adverse effect that not having clean water has had on my people, on people all over Africa. And so this mission and this cause is such a deeply personal one to me. So I'm just really inspired and really grateful for everyone putting your time and energy and thought into this cause, because again, it's one that affects us all. Even if you're not African, we're all humans, and humanity is the thread that brings us all together. So I'm here actually today to to introduce Senator Parker. And Senator Parker has been a personal friend and also a professional colleague of mine, because I've done some work with him in my neighborhood of Brooklyn, giving back to the community. But it's an honor to introduce him today. And he's going to be our next New York City Comptroller, because he's running for Comptroller. But just a quick bio of him. He is a lifelong Brooklyn resident, and he's the senator of the 21st Senatorial District in Brooklyn. And he has been committed to restoring the overall quality of life of residents in this district and all over Brooklyn. And he's had notable positions and accomplishments so far in his career. I mean, I was looking at his bio and I was like, geez, I mean, can you leave some accomplishments for the rest of us? It's amazing, all the stuff that he's accomplished. He's currently a ranking member of the Senate Energy and Telecommunications Committee, former Majority Whip, and first Vice Chair of the Association of Black, Puerto Rican, and Asian Legislators. And he is also a member of the New American Task Force. It is my honor and my pleasure to introduce the next New York City Comptroller, New York State Senator Kevin Parker. Kevin, are you there?
Yeah, I am. Lola, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate that introduction.
Absolutely.
And in fact, I think that we should start talking about a contract where you leave that full-time job of yours and then you just go on the road with me and just introduce me every place I go.
I love it. I got you anytime.
Help me. Again, let me just say again, I'm Senator Kevin Parker. I'm the chairman of the Energy and Telecommunications Committee, as well as the Majority Whip. And I am just, but today my real big role is friend of Saran and supporter of Face Africa. I am a number of years ago, probably I think 3 or 4 years ago, my good friend Amy Sinclair introduced me to Face Africa and the Wash Gala, and I've been hooked ever since. Let me shout out all of the host committee members who have not just distinguished themselves as people of big heart and passion for doing the right thing, but have, for me, turned into real friends. And I appreciate you all. And this has been nothing but an amazing journey for me getting to know the various members of the host committee. And let me just say, like, the work that Saran has gone into, and the work that the Wash Gala is doing is amazing. In my other life outside of politics, I'm actually an Africana Studies professor. I study African culture. I've been to Africa several times, particularly to Nigeria. So let me just say Alafia and Ekaleo to all of the Yoruba folks out there, including Lola. They're always teasing me about my Yoruba, but you
try. You're almost there.
I'm still working on it, right? Anyway, I just want to say that having traveled in Africa, the stories that you've heard, the narratives that people are talking about in the context of access to clean water, access to proper sanitation is really, really a big need. We actually know how to do this. We need to continue to put our hands together to push things forward. I'm happy to be part of this cause. I'm looking forward to finding more opportunities to advance the work of this great organization and its laudable aims. And let me just say two other things. One, congratulations to Alphonso David, who I worked with for a long time in the state government, and he's somebody who is well deserved of the leadership award he received tonight. He's a very, very humble man, and his humility is only outmatched by the dedication and his willingness to work hard to see things to the end. And so I'm just really, really proud to know him and to see him get this award tonight. And then let me just also then just leave us with a bit of this is a invocation for water. This is in the Yoruba, if you go to a Babalawo, they will invoke the water. And what they will say is that most of our bodies are made of water, right? And they say most of the world is made of water. May water always be a friend to us. And may we never make an enemy of water. And then anybody who makes an enemy of you, let them become an enemy of water. So I want to just leave that with everybody. And it speaks to the importance of water in everybody's life. There's nothing on this planet that can live without water. And we need to continue to advance that. And now I have the great pleasure of introducing somebody who I think is just amazing. And I don't really know her, but After this, I can't wait until the world gets back to normal and we can kind of be in the same places. But I have the opportunity to introduce Her Excellency, Chief Dr. Jewel Howard Taylor, the Vice President of Liberia. This is a woman who has been a champion for her country for over almost 25 years. Somebody who has fought for gender equity, for access to resources, someone who has been a stateswoman, and someone who has been a stalwart for the people of Liberia. Before becoming vice president, she was a senator that represented the largest county in Liberia, Bong County. And the work that she did there, elevated her as a national presence. But even prior to that, the advocacy work that she did for just everyday people of her country, really is admirable. It is the kind of service that people like myself look up to, and I think you all should as well. And without any further ado, let me introduce Her Excellency, Chief Dr. Jewel Howard Taylor.
Madam Saran Kaba Jones, CEO of Face Africa, distinguished speakers, honorees, fellow participants, members of the Fourth Estate, ladies and gentlemen. I'm humbled today by the invitation to give brief remarks on the 11th Annual WASH Gala hosted by Face Africa. Let me congratulate the Face Africa team for the level of consistency in highlighting the important need for access to water and sanitation for more than a decade. I extend special congratulations to the honorees of this year's gala and urge them to continue the advocacy and support for clean water initiatives across Africa. I take cognizance of the theme, water is personal. For me, this theme justifies the old age adage that water is life, which has been true and remains still so today. But I was saddened when I read a report from WaterAid that 1.1 million Liberians lack access to safe water, and 3.7 million don't have proper sanitation. It is even more heartbreaking that the lack of sanitation causes over 700 deaths per year in children under 5 in Liberia. This narrative has to change, and we must continue this fight in mobilizing resources and having a collective voice for access to water and sanitation for all. I am aware that women and girls continue to bear the brunt of these challenges our nation faces. 46% of adult females in Liberia are responsible for water collection in households in both rural and urban communities. I believe women are being overburdened not only with domestic responsibilities of cooking, cleaning, washing, shopping, and caring for husbands and children, but they also carry a huge responsibility of providing clean water for the survival of their families, thus limiting their opportunities to focus on education and building a career. I am honored for this opportunity to affirm my commitment, and I join hands with each of you in the fight to empowering women and girls. I therefore take the challenge to champion the call for our government and our partners to direct more resources and investment in water, sanitation, and hygiene, which is cardinal to Liberia's social economic development and women's right to basic services. I'm encouraged and hopeful considering the amazing work Face Africa continues to do in raising awareness and lobbying for resources in order to solve water and sanitation crisis. This is extremely welcoming, and I encourage the Face Africa team to continue on this trajectory. I thank you for this amazing opportunity to be a part of this event.
My name is John D. Tobe. I serve as Program Assistant for Face Africa in Liberia.
Hello, I'm Adekunle Gold, work for Face Africa as field assistant.
My name is Samuel Gobo. I work for Face Africa as a program assistant in Liberia.
Water is life. To me, I cannot do anything without water. I use water for washing, cooking, bathing. Without water, I cannot do anything.
Water is important to me because water is life and water means plenty things. We use water to drink, we use water to use the bathroom, we use water to wash our hands. We use water to wash our hands in school. We use water to wash our hands after using the bathroom or toilet. We use water to take bath. We use water to cook. We use water to drink.
We use water to take bath. We use water to wash our hands every day on campus. Water is very good to us.
To me, water is healthy life because without water, life becomes very difficult.
No living creature on earth can survive without water. Everybody needs water to survive. Everything needs water to survive, even the plant. So I use water to water my garden. I use water to also wash my hands. I use water to bath. I use water to feed my animals at home.
I'm so happy to be working on Face Africa to do water work. I find it as a privilege. I find it as a pleasure because water is life.
I use water for so many reasons. Even when I'm going to the bathroom, I have to carry water to use it in the bathroom after defecating. So water is very, very important.
Thank you. Happy Water Day.
Thanks, happy Water Day.
Happy Water Day.
Thanks, happy Water Day.
Bye-bye. Happy Water Day.
Bye. Happy Water Day.
Happy Water Day. It's always so great to see the faces of our Face Africa staff members on the ground in Liberia. And like I mentioned earlier, it's wonderful that they can actually be a part of this gathering this evening because we're now virtual and online. Thank you, Senator Kevin, for that wonderful introduction to Her Excellency Vice President Joel Howard Taylor. You're absolutely right in that she's a true champion for Liberia and someone that I look up to tremendously. So many quotables from Alphonso David's speech. Gosh, you're never too young to lead or to serve. And we saw that from Marie and from Michelle, all these young people using their platform and their voices to advocate for basic human rights for every single person. Take your inspiration and put it into action. I can speak to that. I went back home to Liberia after 20 years and I got inspired and I was moved by what I saw and I turned that into action. And 12 years later, I'm here surrounded by an amazing community of supporters and friends and people who continue to push me to keep doing this much needed work. And you don't need to have president or CEO in your title to be a leader. I think, not everyone has what it takes to put their ego and pride to the side and just get down and dirty and do the needed work that needs to be done without worrying about titles and accolades and recognitions. So thank you, Alphonso, for all of those quotes and those incredibly inspiring messaging, calling us to take action and lead. Just a few thank you to Bozoma, who made a $2,500 donation, which was matched by Gala, one of our host committee members, in honor of her mother, Telma Batali. Thank you so much, Gala. And $300 from Rona. Thank you. And Niraj, a $10,000 donation. Thank you for that. And to all of our sponsors, Target, Bahtia Foundation, Jersey Arts Production, every single person who's contributed tonight. Thank you so, so much. Don't forget, you can still text WASH21 to 44321 to make a donation. Yes, Amplify Africa, Sinclair Social, Jersey Arts Production, Target, Lawrence States, Ken, I hope you guys are tuning in, Trinsha, Ishioma, Baobab Consulting, Rayleigh Arts Gallery. There's an art auction going on right now. It's live. So please bid. If you're not able to make a donation, at least you can purchase some beautiful contemporary artwork from Africa, from Nigeria. Thank you everyone who tuned in. And before we wrap up and move to the final closing performance and to the after party, which is gonna be right here, I just wanna invite one of our host committee members, a good friend of mine, a sister who's been with this organization since the very beginning, since we started hosting the WASH Gala in Boston, where she would drive from New Jersey and come and spend all night putting together florals and centerpieces to make sure that our event is a success. So I just want to invite her up tonight to say a few words and to also thank all of our host committee members. You know who you are, but I'm gonna name you: Betty, Henry, Roxanne, Amber, Gala, Lola, Liz, Ernest, Anjuma, Amy, Pauline, Prajay, Chisholm, Chike, Liz, Grossman, Kelsey, Sunita, Michelle, and Saran, Kaba, Jones. I'm gonna thank myself as well. As Marie said, it's important that we say to ourselves that we deserve to be thanked, right? So I'm going to do that. And to all of our honorees, Representative Omar, Alphonso David, Michelle, Solome, I just love you so much, Marie, and to Bozoma and Kevin and Sandra for joining us and introducing our speakers and honorees. Thank you so much. So Liz, up to you.
Thank you so much, Saran, and thank you for that generous introduction. So, congratulations first off to all of our honorees tonight, and a major thank you to you, Saran, for your leadership. I've walked with you for the past 11, 12 years. And I've seen you in the high moments and through the lows, and your commitment to water and sanitation advocacy is personally inspiring to me, and I know to many of the host committee members. And that's what brings us back year after year for this very important cause. To my host committee colleagues, thank you, thank you, thank you. We pulled this off. It's been a fun night. I've literally danced all night through the performances. To everyone else who is here tonight, those of our supporters who are not able to be here tonight, but who continue to support this and champion this very important cause, thank you, thank you. Just a couple of words from me. My water is essential and water is personal. And in my day job, I am privileged really to be allowed into numerous communities and to experience the lives of the most resilient communities across the world, primarily in Africa, where individuals don't have access to water and sanitation. And in spite of, they continue to pull through, to push forward, and they continue to thrive as best as they can. And seeing these individuals day after day after day, struggling really because of a lack of a resource that many of us, myself included, take for granted, is most disheartening. And so that is why I am committed to ensuring that everyone, everywhere, has access to this basic and vital resource, the lack of which is really the deal breaker and the most critical determinant of achieving one's full potential. Water is a human right, and water is essential. Water is life. But you know, the lack of access to water is a social justice issue. And you know, this past year we've been on the streets. We've been fighting against police brutality. We've been fighting against supremacy in the U.S. and across the world. But the lack of water precludes Africans and many people across the world from achieving a life lived with human dignity. And that for me is just really pressing. And so I urge you that I encourage you also that together we can change the trajectory, we can change things. And so I call on you tonight to continue to use your voices, raise your voices in advocacy and in support of access to this very critical, basic human right and need. And I also encourage you to dig deep into your pockets and to support this work that Face Africa is doing. Tonight, our goal was to raise $100,000. We are close, but we are not quite there yet. And so I encourage you to support us. You can continue to make donations by texting WASH 21 to 44321. We are at $54,926 of our projected goal of 100,000. And I know in the depths of my heart that together we can do this, that we can raise these critical funds for our communities, our people on our continent. So thank you, everyone. I look forward to seeing you next year, hopefully in person. But let us continue to support this very important cause because water is in fact life. And without water, none of us would be here. So thank you.
Amazing. Thank you, Liz. Once again, this concludes the program part of the evening. We still have a closing performance from Adekunle Gold. You definitely don't want to miss that. And this will give you the chance to actually stand up and move a little bit. I'm ready to dance. I'm barefoot because I didn't need heels tonight because we're all home anyway, so we don't need the 4 or 5 inch heels. So I'm ready to dance and move my body a little bit. To everyone tuning in from overseas that stayed up late to join us, thank you for joining us. We will have this recording posted on all of our social media pages. We will also send it out to everyone who donated, who bought a ticket, who supported. We're so grateful to you. We're so grateful to this community for being with us for 11 years, because last year didn't really happen. It was a wash, as Isha said at the beginning of this program. And to the host committee member, as always, you guys continue to push me, to push myself. And I love you all so much, because without you, there would be no Face Africa Wash Gala. There would be no Face Africa. To my dad, I love you. My brothers, my siblings, my husband, who couldn't even join tonight because we hit capacity. And to my kids, Maje, Malik, baby Nora, I wish you could be here tonight so you could all say hi, but it's way past her bedtime. So thank you all so much. And we are going to go to Adekunle's performance now, and also to all of our volunteers, Karimata, Somto, Jared, all of you guys also make evenings and programs like this possible. Thank you so much. I love you all from the bottom of my heart. I love you all. Thank you.
Girl, you make me loco. You play me like a lotto. All you want is my dodo. I even buy you moto. Oh no, oh no. You say you want it low, low. But why you let me go, go? See me now, I am solo. Oh no, no, no. It could have been something different. You say you want money, baby, oh. We could be loving my honey, kissing and cuddling life in Miami, oh. It could have been something different, oh. You say no money, no honey, oh. You should be walking beside me, money, and baby girl, why you running, no. I don't tire for play. Things say now you go hold me down. Taking by a silly. With you, I want to settle down. You sweet me like soda. I mean like I cool it down. Oh my beautiful lady, why you wanting to let me down? All my niggas that been mocking me. Now I guess you don't kiss on me. It's unfair, baby. It's unfair, baby. Yeah, where I want no they fuck with me. Every time she they do corny. See I swear, baby. Oh I swear, baby. Girl you make me loco. You play me like a lotto. All you want is my dodo. I even buy you moto. Oh no, no, oh no. You say you want it low, low. But why you leave me go, go? See me now, I am solo. Oh no, no, no. It could have been something different. You say you want money, baby, oh. We could be loving my honey, kissing and cuddling life in Miami, oh. It could have been something different, oh. You say no money, no honey, oh. You should be lucky beside me, money and living. Girl, why you running, oh? Girl, you make me loco. All you want is my dodo. Why you leave me go, go? See me now, I am solo. Oh no, no, no. Hey, baby, it's your daddy, oh. Because me, I don't get time. Baby, don't kill my vibe. Everybody, let me hear you, yeah. Bam me, oh, 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 bam me, oh. Bami oh, oh, bami oh, Somebody call the popo. I want to report a murder case. Somebody call the popo. Oh my baby, oh. One man down on the love highway. Oh no, give me my shell. I'ma do the fair by me, oh. Look what you done to me. Look what you done to me. Oh my, oh my. Somebody call the bombo. This love they make me commit you, my baby. Do me tender, oh love you. Oh my. Whoa, 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 whoa. Baby, oh, yeah. Hey, baby, my baby. Bami, oh. Bami, oh. up my money, no time for your shit. Money kulakbo, I don't care for your hate. Me no fighting, me no fighting. Throw it and drum from bungalow. I did my penthouse, you can't even reach me. Me no fighting. It is not your fight, stand down. I'm not the one, calm down. You know I'm not your problem. You can be me, why bother? Don't have your time now. Only move me bow down. To bambino farabale. Oboda kola rimole. Okay, okay. It's okay, let them say. Trouble no they pay me. Injaye on a daily. Oh, okay, okay. It's okay, let them say. I just want jaye me. Loke, loke. Yo, sheba, 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 leshi. Sheba, leshi. Sheba, 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 leshi. Sheba, sheba, leshi. Sheba, sheba, leshi. Hey, now grace you define. I get it times two, you they hide me. Let me remind you, no they try me. To bury me, come my belly, yeah. You got my attention now. What you gonna do? You the tension, but so later come fool. Or got cool it down, down. Cause me no fighting. It's not your fight, stand down. I'm not the one, calm down. You know I'm not your problem. Can't be me, why bother? Don't have your time now. Only move me bow down. To bambino farabale. Oboya kola rimole. Oh, okay, okay. It's okay, let them stay. Trouble no they pay me. Kinjaye on the daily. Oh, okay, okay. We go there, okay. I just want jaye me. Yeah, loke, loke. Oh, yeah, oh, sheba, leshi. Sheba, 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 leshi. Sheba, 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 leshi. Hey, sheba, 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 leshi. Sheba, sheba, leshi. Sheba, sheba, leshi. Okay. The grass is greener on the other side. That's what I thought before I took the ride. I burned my bridges so I never look back. But if I had known the life I was searching for was looking me right in the eye, if I had known the life I was searching for was already my own. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Goodness is calling out to me now, now. Oniki mabo, oniki mabo. Ire oh, oh, oh. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Goodness is calling out to me now, now. Oniki mabo. The grass is greener when you water the ground. That's what I found before I took the ride. I realized the mountain I've been climbing understand you. Yeah, I didn't know I already had the answer. No, I didn't know. But if I had known, the life I was searching for was looking me right in the eye, oh, right in the eye. If I had known, the life I was searching for was already my own. Is calling out to me, na na. Only keep my boy, yeah. Goodness is calling out to me, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, no. Show some love, show some love, show some love to the people in need, to the people in need. If you're watching, show some love to the people in need. Yeah, 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 yeah. Thank you very much, guys. Honestly, thank you for having me. Congratulations again, Face Africa, on your 11th annual gala. This is an amazing feat, and I'm so thankful for each and every one of you that's been working so hard to get thousands of households, water to drink, good water to water, because water is life, and then you're providing life again. So thank you very much, and I want to encourage all of you, the guests, to please donate to this cause. I think it's an amazing one. That people are suffering, people need water, and then we need your help to give them life. So please donate. Thank you very much. We love you.
That was amazing. Hi, everyone.
Hi,
Is this the after party crew?
Yes, this
you ready to party?
The party crew. I think what we wanted to do is really just move over to Brady Bunch style view. So anyone who's on their computer and not on their phone, in the top right corner, you can switch from speaker view to gallery view. It could be like some little dots. You'll see that. And then we'll see everyone's faces. And I think what we just wanted to do is just invite people to like put their hand up and say a couple things about how they felt tonight or what water means to them, because this is really a community-driven kind of event that we're trying to put on with you guys tonight. My name is Amy Sinclair, even though it says Pauline Egan. I'm going to rename myself.
Totally looked like I was complimenting myself.
I'm one of the host committee members. Been with the organization for maybe like 4 years now, I think. And water means so many things to me. Mostly it means gathering, and it means community and support. That's what it means to me. So if someone else would like to speak, please feel free to take themselves off mute. And Ernest? Does he want to speak?
I'm Pauline's friend, Rona, and it's really easy to feel sorry for yourself until you attend something like tonight and realize that your problems are nothing, because anytime I want it, I have clean drinking water accessible at my tap in several different places in my house. So thank you for a very humbling evening. It was very moving and has really put everything into perspective. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Ernest, I see you've taken yourself off mute. Do you want to say something? Yes. We saw you dancing earlier. It was giving us all the good vibes.
Ernest was dancing like it was his birthday or something.
Yes. Oh, you have to plug in because we can't hear you. Oh, sorry. You weren't ready yet. Sorry, Ernest. While Ernest is getting up, I think he's ready now. There he is.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh my God. Thanks, Amy. Thank you all for joining. I thought my video was off while I was dancing, but here we are. Anyway, thank you all for your amazing support. To be honest, while we were planning this stuff, I was saying to everybody how I don't know that anybody's gonna be like crazy about missing or a virtual event, but on some level, I feel like this was a lot more fun than this might be blasphemous, but than even being in person, because I was able to make a steak dinner. I had food. I listened to the most mind-blowing speakers, from around the world, amazing leaders. So congratulations to all the honorees, to the people who put it together. Congratulations. We had technical difficulties, but, I think that's the least of our problems in 2021. So again, have an amazing evening. Thank you so much for having me.
We're just waiting. The DJ is setting up. He's going to come in and get us going.
I mean, I could DJ until he gets ready, but I'm kidding.
Maybe we can hear from someone else. Does anybody else want to say anything?
Aminat Adekunle looks like she wants to say something. I've been seeing her pop up on my screen all night. Where are you dialing in from, and who and what brought you here tonight?
Hello, everyone. I'm actually currently in St. Croix, so dialing in from St. Croix at the moment. So, like I mentioned yesterday during the pre-party, was it? I learned via the social medias of yours, Saran, and Danjuma. And then Danjuma convinced me to go to the first gala, and since then I've been hooked. So I'm a fan. I'll always support and tell all my friends about you guys, because water is health, water is life. I love it. I enjoyed my time, even if it was virtually. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Aminat.
Aminat is either a doctor or a resident, and so she's been at the front lines of this pandemic. So don't let her shortchange herself. She's a very, very, very essential personnel. And so we thank you for your amazing work. Again, Africans are make up a disproportionate amount of the doctors and the nurses and the people that have been in front of the the front lines of this pandemic, and I think it's important to recognize them and celebrate them. So don't let her be in a corner over there. What you doing, St. Croix? Anyway,
Thank you, guys. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you. And we have John all the way from Liberia. He's one of our field staff, and his name says Techno Camo. John, can you unmute yourself and just say a few words really quickly?
Yes. Let me say good morning from my end. Good evening to you out there. For me, I'm so happy to be part of this WASH Gala with you in the diaspora. And let me say, water is important very much to us in Liberia and to me personally, because water is life. As I said in our recording, without water, no one can make life easier. Everyone needs water to survive. So let me say thank you and congratulations to Space Africa for the level of work in Liberia. Thank you, and I'm very privileged to be a part of this WASH Gala today. Thank you and congratulations to everyone.
Thank you, John. And while we're waiting for the DJ to get set up, Ken, Lauren, and Ken, we see you. They've been one of our biggest and longest serving supporters. They're always at the gala looking dashing.
Oh, we're not dressed up. Hey, we didn't get dressed for this.
You can't look at us. That's totally fine, because we know next time we meet in person, the dress up that you're gonna do.
Yeah, right.
It's gonna be unmatched. So thank you for joining in.
Oh, it was a fabulous event. You guys did a great job.
Congratulations. It was actually the best virtual gala ever. You guys really pulled it off. Congratulations.
Thank you so much for joining in. We really appreciate you. And we can't wait to see you in person.
Yep.
All dressed up.
Yeah.
Definitely. And we'd love to hear now from Niraj Bhatia. He's also one of our biggest champions and supporters, and soon to be board member. He just doesn't know it yet, but that letter's going to go out soon. Hi, Niraj.
Hey guys, how are you?
Good.
Thank you for such a wonderful event. Had just a great time tonight with all the speakers, all the people that just contributed such amazing things. Water to me is everything. And to be part of this and to help anyone I can help is just a humbling experience. And to be part of this group is, amazing. So thanks for the invite, and I guess thanks for the board invite as well. I did not know that was happening, but I appreciate that. But no, thanks to everyone who's contributed to the organization. Thanks to all the volunteers. Thanks to everyone basically who's contributed something positive to this entire experience. We wouldn't be here without you guys. So thanks to everyone, and hopefully I can help make some more positive impacts in the future. So thank you guys.
Thank you, Niraj. Janelle, how are you? Janelle.
Hi.
Yes, we can hear you.
Hi, can you hear me? We can hear you. Oh, yes. So I'll just be brief. So happy to continue to support Saran and the team. I've I said in 2014. I can't believe that when I was editor at Black Enterprise. So it's awesome to be back again. And again, for representing for the Caribbean and Black American, I know water is definitely a global issue, and so many things we can relate to on subject. So thank you so much, Saran, the whole team, Ernest. I see Kelsey. I see so many people. Ade. Good to see you guys again. Hopefully I'll get to see you in person soon. So congratulations to all the honorees, and thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Janelle. Tandy. Falala.
Hi, Saran. How are you? I'm Tandy, and the first gala I attended was the second one, which you had at the Ritz-Carlton Boston before moving to New York. So, so it's been fun to watch the Face Africa Gala grow since then, and it's always fun. So I can't wait till next year when we can do this live and I can dress up and I'm not, cooped up in here. So.
Thank you, Tandy. The DJ is almost ready. I hope you guys are ready to get up and move a little bit. Jabrina, we would love to hear from you.
More importantly, how you know Saran, Jabrina?
Oh, well, my name is pronounced Jabrina.
Jabrina, sorry about that.
And I don't know, I came upon Face Africa, I think a couple of years ago, and I attended the first gala for me about maybe 2 or 3 years ago. And I think I reached out to Saran by email because I was interested in volunteering, but we didn't really get to connect. So I understand, EDs are pretty much busy because I am part of the nonprofit world. And I am American born, but my parents are Liberian. And I took my first trip to Liberia in October 2020. And I love the country. And I'm looking forward to going back in October of this year. So I'm very much glad to have found the organization. I have donated and in honor of my father who recently passed. And I look forward to next year when you have the actual gala in person so I can be in attendance. So thank you.
Thank you so much. And if anyone wants to speak, just raise your hand. I'm just sort of calling on random.
I want to call out Angelina. She's a monthly donor and a friend of mine, and I think she should talk. Angelina.
Hi, Angelina.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, I'm a monthly donor. It's one of the best, decisions I ever made. I want to say it right here. And a lot of people, getting a credit card charge is not the happiest thing, but for me on the 28th of every month, it just brings me great joy. Number one, I want to say that I have an 18-year-old niece who's very big into sustainability. That's her thing. And so me getting involved with you guys, it's bringing me the cool points as an auntie, right? I'm gaining cool points when I talk about Face Africa with her. I'm the cool auntie now. All jokes aside, what you do is very personal to me. I'll explain. Before COVID, I'm actually the kitchen dishwasher. I had a career as a dishwasher in many restaurants, and the amount of waste that I see, if you don't work in the back kitchen, if there's one person that sees the amount of waste, it's the dishwasher. Let me tell you some things I've seen. I've seen people how they sit at tables and they'll order the spring water in the bottle, right, to pour it out. There are people that will order a bottle, pour out like a tiny bit, and then send the rest back. And if I don't drink it, it goes out the door. So this is very personal to me. So I want to bring that up on the subject of water being personal. That's what you guys mean to me.
Great. Thank you, Angelina. I'm sorry to hear about your dad. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate you. You're an inspiration. And to your niece as well, a great role model. Thank you. All right, so we are going to get started on the after party. So yeah, enjoy yourselves. Get a glass of wine or whatever, you know, drink you drink. I'm gonna get a glass of cranberry juice, and hopefully we'll all have a good time, and maybe we'll come back and chat a little bit if everyone's, or a glass of water. Yes, Hawa, a glass of water would be nice too. So let's bring in the DJ.
Can everybody hear me clearly?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, before